To understand all the consequences and problems associated with omega-6 fatty acids and seed oils, even though omega-6 is essential, you do need it and it is healthy, let's begin this discussion on seed oils with an analogy. Sunlight is essential for health. You need the sun's ultraviolet radiation to zap your skin cells and actually begin vitamin D production. The sunlight can also boost your mood, make you feel happy. It's good for heart health, and you need the sunlight to anchor your circadian rhythm. And then of course, vitamin D is also just so critical for hormone health and a healthy immune system. However, too much sun, literally overdosing on the sun's ultraviolet radiation, all this excess sun exposure can end up destroying and damaging your skin cells. It can cause oxidative stress, premature skin aging, and the sun's rays can literally zap teeny little holes in your DNA, increasing risk of skin cancer, causing skin cancer, and causing DNA mutation. Obviously, this is really bad for your health, but you do need a little bit of sun to actually promote health, enhance longevity, and honestly just keep your body in tip-top shape. In this video, we are going to discuss omega-6 fatty acids, seed oils, and where things go so wrong. But you are also going to learn why your body needs omega-6 fatty acids, why you would be a literally dying, falling apart disaster if you did not have inflammation, and you're going to learn the true connection between seed oils and the inflammatory response. We cannot have this discussion without clearly defining what an omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acid, PUFA, actually is. In this video and also in the entirety of science, omega-6 is defined as a long-chain polyunsaturated fatty acid. Omega-6 is linoleic acid, which is essential, and arachidonic acid, which is derived from linoleic acid. That is the definition of omega-6. If you do not like it, I'm really sorry. I can't help you with that one. And now that we have these things defined, let's move on to inflammation. Linoleic acid is an essential fatty acid, but why does your body even need it? Well, omega-6 is required for a healthy immune system and actually launching the inflammatory response. Omega-6 derived molecules literally turn on inflammation in your body, and this is very important and entirely necessary. In fact, without any omega-6 present, your immune system will literally fail to function and your body will not be healthy. So in small, adequate, and controlled amounts, omega-6s are essential for health. But in chronic excess amounts, all this overconsumption of omega-6 drives cellular dysfunction and out of control bad inflammation. This inflammation can then propagate cellular damage and even more dysfunction. So when we are consuming just absolutely insane, absurd amounts of seed oils and omega-6 fatty acids from all this ridiculous fried fast food, we get all these issues associated with chronic inflammation, like arthritis, cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even Alzheimer's. However, inflammation is not inherently bad. For a healthy immune system, you truly do need your inflammatory response to be fully operational. Without inflammation, you would literally die and your wounds would never heal. You would become a sick, infected, completely falling apart mess. Without inflammation, your body would literally just be a huge disaster and you would probably die pretty quickly. Controlled inflammation is so important, and let me just give you an example. Imagine if you are biking and you have this massive wipeout and you scratch your leg. This scratch is literally giving all the germs, bacteria, viruses, and pathogens of the outside world complete and free access to your blood. If these germs, pathogens, and viruses actually get into your blood, get into circulation, they have free access to your organs, your cells, your brain, your tissues. This can literally kill you if it's a very bad bacteria, a very bad virus, and now it's inside your body, arriving at your cells, organs, tissues, at your brain, at your heart, at your lungs. Without the inflammatory immune response, these germs could literally take you out. That is why inflammation is so important. The acute inflammatory response is the very first step in the wound healing process. You absolutely need this for survival and for health. And what's really interesting is that this entire healing process is all dependent on omega-6 fatty acids. More specifically, it's dependent on the eicosanoids, and the eicosanoids are derived from omega-6s. And this is exactly why your immune system needs linoleic acid and arachidonic acid. Now you can start to understand the connection between omega-6 overconsumption and increased chronic inflammation. If you are constantly flooding the system with omega-6 fatty acids, this is then spamming that inflammation on switch, and now you're stuck with this chronic low-grade systemic inflammation that actually has no purpose and no benefit to your body. It's actually deleterious to health. And while inflammation is absolutely necessary, the inflammatory response is supposed to be short-lived and an acute response to injury or threat. The inflammatory response is meant to be self-resolving. You do not want it on all the time. That's where we get into problems, and that's where you see your increase for chronic disease like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, cardiovascular disease. That's when you see these disease risks increase. When inflammation is constantly triggered, often due to modern dietary disasters, it becomes severely damaging to cells, tissues, and organs. And this is why health declines, energy drops, fatigue sets in. This is why you feel heavy and your skin dulls. If we're actually going to break this down, modern Western diets are oversaturated with omega-6s and deplete in omega-3s. We are getting nearly 20 times as much omega-6s as we are omega-3s, creating this insanely skewed omega-6 to omega-3 ratio of like 10 to 1 or 25 to 1. For optimal health, an ideal omega-6 to 3 ratio is about 4 to 1, or honestly, ideally 1 to 1. The high omega-6 consumption and skewed ratio promotes this low-grade underlying chronic systemic inflammation. What you need to do is literally cut all the ultra-processed BS food from your diet, begin reading ingredients, and stop consuming all these high omega-6 containing foods. And what you need to start doing is you need to start enjoying things like wild game, wild-caught, cold water fatty fish, like sardines, like your wild caught salmon. And if you know me, you probably already know I am literally obsessed with sardines. They are one of the most potent sources of these beautiful, healthy omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. If you wish to work with me and become a client and have a one-on-one private nutrition coaching call, I would absolutely love to work with you. I specialize in reverse dieting, which literally means getting you out of your low-calorie diet and back into a healthy, nutrient-rich diet that actually supports your energy levels, supports metabolic health, and keeps you full of energy, full of life, and feeling vitalized. I also specialized in clean eating for skin health and gut health. If you want to learn more about my skin transformation journey, check out my Instagram highlight called Skin on Nutrition by Elsa on Instagram. If you want to learn more about me, learn more about what I do, you can visit my website, nutritionbyelsa.com. And as per usual, I love you all so much. Thank you for all the questions you message me. You guys give me the ideas for these videos. You guys make me even more excited about this, and I make these videos for you. So let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Make sure you like and subscribe to support me and support what I do in getting this educational, hopefully educational content to you. Okay, goodbye everybody. Have such a lovely day. Mwah.